The playoffs are back at Lambeau, and the temps, well, they're where you would expect them in the frigid range. Just how the Cheeseheads like it here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Ahead will decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game, as we've got a great one in store between the Arizona Cardinals and the Green Bay Packers. Punch the fourth and final ticket to the conference championship round. We'll know soon enough as we are underway here on a January afternoon. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. First carry for James Conner. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. Finds his running back, James Conner. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. So 8 yards on the completion there. And now it's 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Murray going to try to throw on 3rd down. And this will be swung out here for Conner. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving. Play fake. Murray. Finding his target, it's Trey McBride. He's got room at the 30. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
They'll stay on the ground with Conner again. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. Flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Here's Conner on the read option. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. From the 5-yard line with his opening drive yield 6. This is 3rd and goal. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
No surprise to see him running again here. It's something he's done throughout this season, and that run puts him over 500 yards on the ground for the year. He's got to be thinking to himself, if I'm already at 500, what's to stop me from going for 1,000?
Not a touchdown, obviously, but playoffs, you're on the road. At least you put something on the board.
I would agree with that totally. You're not exactly sending a message to the opposition, but you are letting them know that you came to play.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Hey, take 26.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Out of the backfield, this is Aaron Jones. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Rodgers going to go on 4th down. And he's got room. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a 1st down. Now Rodgers. He'll find Jones again, complete. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
They go back to the ground with Jones. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw. He'll drop this underneath for Jones. And they'll work this down inside the 30. But yet another completion here on this opening drive, and he's now perfect 4 of 4 to start. Pretty solid execution here.
And how about how everyone's handled their nerves? Because you know what it's like to start a ball game. You're so amped up and ready to go that sometimes the execution isn't there. They've been flawless so far. Well drilled, well prepared, and excited to start this game.
And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 17-yard line. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. And the slot man goes in motion left. Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a pickup of 12. Second play in a row with a 12-yard gain. Now Jones. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Rodgers now to throw. This is caught. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
The defense was ready for the back to leak out and even had a second player waiting to double him up. If you're going to commit to doubling a back, you better prevent a completion, but give him credit. Extra determination, extra effort, turn it into a successful play.
Get 300! Get 300!
Rodgers going to try and run. Jones will score. Touchdown, Packers. That option pitch we saw, we don't witness a ton of that in the NFL, but it worked there down near the goal line for a score.
And it's actually a great call in goal line situations because as more and more quarterbacks enter the league without mobility and having run option in college, more pro teams are adding it to their arsenal. And now it's not just, does the quarterback run it? Does he pitch it? Now they've added that third element. He can rise up and throw the ball as well.
This one fielded at the 5. And able to get this out to the 25. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. They fake the handoff. Now Murray. Able to get this one to McBride. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
8 more yards this time, coming off back-to-back first down pickups. Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. They'll fake it to counter. Now Murray. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Packers are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line.
Well, it's a cold night, and whether you're a quarterback that wears a glove on his throwing hand or not, that ball is a rock, Brandon. You've got to really drive it through the cold and the wind, or it can take off on you. And that may have been what happened there.
26.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. Here's Rodgers. Complete to Jones. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run. Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Rodgers. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Hey, check 26. 50. Hey, you block over here.
Now it's Rodgers. And that will be incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
Rodgers to throw for it on 4th. He finds Watson complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down. Off the option, it's Jones. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Award that tackle for loss to the safety, Budda Baker. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Rodgers. And Jones has it over the middle. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to bring up a fourth down. The kick by Crosby is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal. And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued. And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the play did on the last one. On second and inches, Murray. That's into a crowd and intercepted. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead. Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones, and he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Throwing now is Rodgers. Quick slant to Watson. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now. I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense. On 3rd down, here's Jones. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. The kick by Crosby is good, and they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result. Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there. And he's going to get this across the 20 as he's out of bounds at the 23. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. Oh, they've intercepted Murray for the 3rd time. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC Divisional Round matchup. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the run in a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But if they run it more effectively, they may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Hey, 626. Box it, box it, box it, box it. 26.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. Flush to his right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this 3rd quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind, and we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
Devondre Campbell, the one who fought his way in there to make the play.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Murray's throw complete there to Beckham. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. He'll get this to Connor underneath. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. So 2nd and 4 from the 22. Now Murray. Buying time to his left. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. 1st down, 18-yard gain. They'll run here with Connor. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
This offense has a lot of weapons, but you know they like to look Connor's way down here near the end zone. He's got that rugged running style, and that's a nice job there to hold it to a short pickup.
Hey, hold on.
Once again, it's Conner. And he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. James Conner, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Cardinals have got it back to within a score. Prater for the extra point. And the lead down to 3 at 13-10. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. Taken in at the 3. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Still enjoying the lead here in the third quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be second down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know you're trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's second and 7. On play action, it's Rodgers. Being chased out left. He'll get this into the hands of Dillon, complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From just shy of midfield, Rodgers. This is caught. It's Christian Watson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. How about this? They'll try the option. Left side. Now look out. Rodgers lost the football. And the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. So that play, I mean, it was pretty well blown up from the start, and it results in a turnover.
Yeah, and when you're running the option like that as a quarterback, you have so many different keys and reads to make that sometimes as you're making them, you're not protecting the ball the way you should, and it gets pop free.
Murray has it knocked loose, fumble, and his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
You can admire his willingness to sacrifice his body to try and pick up the first down, and I do, but let's face it, you know his coaches are going to warn him about diving or extending for a marker for this exact reason. So much easier to have the ball knocked free when you're extended like that. So if you're going to dive, you got to make sure you secure the football, which he didn't. But defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. And complete to Lewis over the middle. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. To throw, it's Rodgers. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And the Cardinals are going to take over at their own 28-yard line.
All right, look at me, partner. This is a classic understatement. Their execution has been very poor. Last 3 drives, 2 interceptions and a fumble. Winning football? We're not seeing it right now.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They start the drive with Conner, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Meanwhile, Murray's throw pulled in by Hopkins. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
And partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
One quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 1st and 10 is Connor. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Play action. Now it's Murray. Forced out to his left. And he wisely will throw that one away.
Well, any caused incompletion is good for a defense. But when you add to it, you get a little hit on the quarterback, knock him to the ground, make him think a little bit, hopefully knock him off his game, especially in a game of this magnitude, this tight in the fourth quarter. Got to feel pretty good as a defense.
Murray to throw on 3rd and 1. Escaping the pressure right. And this pass broken up. And the contact well-timed there. And now 4th down.
Well, the best don't mind making tough throws, but that was a real difficult one right there. Out of the pocket, trying to beat double coverage. More times than not, that's going to end up as an incomplete pass, if not worse.
Now Murray's got to have this one. Steps away to his left. And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on 4th down, this is a big call. Well, Charles, they're trying to protect this lead late. Those are the types of mistakes they could afford to go without.
About the last thing you want to give them is help in completing a comeback, which is exactly what that penalty does.
Throwing on 1st down is Murray. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Murray getting this out wide to Hopkins. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Well, this is caught by Williams. No gain on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. They're going for it. Hits Murray. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. When in doubt, do it yourself as he keeps it for 3 and a 1st down.
I don't know about you, but can you just almost feel the relief that's gone through this stadium? He picked up that 1st down. Without it, this game is over.
And when he took off, it was almost like, oh, no, this might be it, but found a way to pick up the 1st. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
What a dimension this man brings to this defense. He had his mind set there that he was going to get in and make that tackle. He really flew to the football.
Yeah, this defense as a whole has really been flying to the football all game long. They have not allowed too much of anything, and here's another example. A great play there to get in and disrupt it before it could get going.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Murray. Throw left side, hauled in by McBride. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
Murray going to try to throw on 3rd down. Toward the sideline, and he will have the 1st down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Connor is going to go backwards. He'll lose yardage back to the 5. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
And now 3rd and goal coming up. The loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder. And they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
Murray now, 3rd and goal. Wisely will throw that one away. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the 4th.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And as a fan of the NFL, not much more you could hope for in this divisional round matchup. Tie game, 4th quarter. A lot of these fans with their hearts in their throats waiting to see what happens here. He was unable to shake free there. They'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Throwing again on 2nd down. Rodgers, he'll find Jones again, complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. This pass complete to Melton. And he is going to have a Packers 1st down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Back to throw, Rodgers. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. To throw is Rodgers. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And he'll send this one into the cold Lambeau night. Now Brown. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They need to get this around the 40 to have a chance to win it in regulation. From the 40, it's a 57-yard field goal, so that gives you a gauge.
And all they're trying to do now is pick up yardage in good chunks and get out of bounds to stop the clock.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And that's a touchdown as they've broken our tie here in the final minute of the 4th. Extra point good by Prater, and they will take a 7-point lead. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Rodgers to throw. He finds Watson. It's caught. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4.
And 26 big yards on that one. It's another first down.
Now Rodgers. And he fires one incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion. So I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
He's back to throw.
He's able to find Melton.
And out of bounds right around the 20. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Back to throw.
And the comeback may stall out. It's intercepted. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And the Cardinals have just about sewn up this football game.
That's a beautiful read there by the safety. It's zone coverage, so he's just going to sit back and watch. He knows he can't get beat deep because he has the end line to protect it. So he can react to everything in front of him, and he makes a great break on the football and comes down with the interception.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. Down to a knee. Here's the Cardinals look to let the clock roll. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
Let's see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down.
They go down to a knee, and with that, they're off to the NFC title game. So they file for the exits here in silence. And what a job to come in on the road, divisional round of the playoffs, and you get to end it by going down to a knee.
Now their confidence has to be at an extreme high. That's 2 weeks in a row they've gone on the road and gotten it done. They don't care where they go. From here on out, they think they can beat anyone.
And they have secured a spot in the conference championship, and now you can start to smell it at this point in the season, can't you?
You really can, because the focus has been one game at a time, not looking ahead. But when you get to the conference championship game and you know you're there, the Super Bowl does loom in the future.